Hi guys, this is your heads up to this podcast. It all started with me thinking about wanting to think deeper, which led me to something else, which surprised me. What you want wants you, which surprised me again, because this was going to be a 5-minute quickie. And it just got deeper, and I think it got more meaningful, and I think it's going to be so helpful to you, to understand passion, understand your dreams, understand where you are, and know this thing, which I didn't understand, but I think I know a lot more about it now. What you want wants you, and you can be confident in that. Have a listen and get that confidence.
Warning.
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 Warning. You are entering into the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. Too late. Personal Development Unplugged.
Do you know what? I'd love to spend more time thinking, or to be able to more. That's more the point, to be able to think more deeply. You know what? I marvel at people who go, I really spent time thinking about this particular subject, and this is what I learned, this is what I found, this is what inspired me. There's some really great thinkers around at the moment. Maybe they're like these street-styled philosophers, and I think they're awesome. It's a great friend of ours, of Joseph and myself, my son that is, named Tim Freak. He comes up with some wonderful thoughts he comes up with a wonderful little book as well, all about, is this life a dream? And what happens when we wake up from this dream? And I think that's an absolutely awesome thought to have. And the thought he put into that book is awesome. There's a guy called Jordan Peterson, who's very popular at the moment. And he thinks really deeply and comes up with some really awesome insights. And I've been thinking, well, that's what I'd love to be able to do. I really would love to be able to do that. And I've been thinking about that for a little while, deeply, I think. Not that deeply. And something crossed my mind. See, my son uses a saying, what you want wants you. And I've tried Googling, where did it come from? And I can't find the originator. Other people have used it, so, it came from somewhere. But what you want wants you. And I'd never really thought about it. I thought this is just something that Joseph has thought about and talks about. But then a couple of things came to mind. And if you don't mind, I'd love to share with you a couple of stories that seem to go hand in hand with this. Oh, by the way, it's me, Paul. I'm so pleased you're here to hear this. So what are these stories, Paul? Come on, Cluffy, tell us. Don't keep us hanging on. Well, they're true stories. Really are true stories. And one is about my younger son, Joseph. He didn't know what he wanted to do when he was really, about the age of 17, 18. Just before 18, probably 17, 16, 15. Wasn't doing very well at school and college. Didn't really know where he wanted to go, what direction he wanted to be or to go in. And between us, he found this job in insurance. And whilst he loved the people there, didn't really like the work. Didn't like that type of work. Not work itself, but that type of work. And I didn't notice this until I found a pile of envelopes underneath his bed, which was one of these correspondence courses. And he wasn't even opening them, let alone not doing them. And we had a little chat. Said, well, if you don't like it, the life's far too short to carry on. Let's try to find something different for you. What do you want to do? What do you want? And he said, well, I honestly do not know. Nothing out there is inspiring me at all. Okay. So here's the thing. Why not go on a week's hypnosis course? So he said, well, why not? Why not? So we send him on this week of hypnosis because I had it in mind that if nothing else, not the learning of hypnosis, but being in hypnosis for a whole 5 days, in and out, I believed something would bubble up into his conscious awareness of a direction he would like to move into. And it could be anything. I didn't know what it was. I thought it'd be more like, I don't know, the police or maybe a bit of art, because he was a good artist. And then I got a phone call on the Friday morning, just before the end of the course, or the last day of the course. And he said, Dad, do you mind if I stay on to the next course the following week? Like what you did. I said, well, yeah, I don't mind. Of course you can stay on, but why? Haven't you found what you want to do yet? Is it working? What is it? Or are you just having fun? And he said, well, yeah, I'm having fun, but I think this is what I want to do. I want to do similar to what you're doing with clients, working with people, using hypnosis and learning even more. So he said, okay, off you go. And he came back the following week, at the end of the following week, and he had changed, not physically, but directionally. He knew what he wanted to do. Something happened. Now, not to say it was a miracle, because it wasn't. And it wasn't magic. It was magical, but not magic. Because then he put a lot of hard work in. And that hard work has paid off. And now he's doing some awesome stuff. Awesome work in the personal development and hypnosis world. He's written a book. We've done seminars together. He's become a trainer of NLP. And now he runs some wonderful online courses and he has a mind mastery. But it all came from that thing. And he loves it. This is his world. But he didn't know it. And this is the theme of this thing. He didn't know it. Now, I have another son. I have 3, in fact. But I'm going to tell you about another son because that's come to mind as well. Now, he was doing all sorts of things. A little bit older, but all sorts of things, but never quite happy. Never quite happy. And he asked one day, do you mind if I come and learn what you're doing? And of course I said, yeah, of course you can, but a couple of stipulations. One is you've got to pay the right price. And the other is, because I'm your dad, you've got to be better than everyone else. Because when you're in there, you're representing the Cloughs, which was a terrible pressure to put on him. It was absolutely abysmal of me to do that. I know that now. Thing is, he became an awesome hypnotherapist, just like his younger brother. But that's not the story here. He'd always wanted to do magic. And we used to buy him little magic boxes and things like that for Christmas. But that wasn't there at the time. But the thing is, by becoming a hypnotherapist, he had a little bit of time in between clients. And he began to practice magic. And then he used to practice it even more. And then even more than that. And when he's practicing, he became friends of some people who helped him practice magic even better. That was his passion. But he didn't know it at the time when it was just, he liked it. Yeah, it was enjoyable. But something happened over those years for that passion to come out. He now does it professionally as well as hypnotherapy. And he's just awesome at it. I can't tell how he does the bloody things. So it's like that passion came along. Then you've got me. I've had a couple of experiences like this. One when I was really doing well in my career. This is a different career. Really doing well. And then something really upset it. Something happened. And everything went up in the air. And I was lost. Completely lost. Lost all my confidence. Lost everything. But the things, well, people come around, friends who I didn't know were friends really became my true friends. And I was supported really well. And as I was supported, I was like pushed into a particular part of a career that I never really wanted to do. And it was okay. It was okay. But I didn't enjoy it that much. But through that, I met somebody else who, it was a guy called Mike. I've told you about him before. Now, Mike and I started working together. We ended up working nearly, I think it was 15 to 16 years together without a contract, which in business terms was the most dumbest thing both of us could ever do. But it just worked. And it became the best thing that in work career, I loved it. I worked harder than I ever worked before, but it didn't seem like work. But that work thing gave me the opportunity to start to learn hypnosis and NLP for work at that particular time. So something came out of that, didn't it? And then something else happened in my life, something really horrible. But out of that horribleness, my son said, well, you need to go away. And I think I've told this story a little bit. I'm not going to tell the whole lot, but go and do something that is going to help you. And you'll be around some people who will support you, make you feel good. But at least we know that you'll be cared for if something goes wrong, because at the moment, Dad, things aren't going right for you. So I went to America to learn or to become a trainer of NLP. And I didn't want to do that at all. Never, ever, ever entered my mind. So much enjoyed it. I made so many new friends. And that's created a wonderful life for me. And I now support other people. I now help other people. And everything about that was awesome. And the thing about it is, Paul, Cluffy over here, never really stuck at anything for more than a year or so. It was 100% in and then die off. Well, I've been doing this for nearly 20 years now, and the passion is still there. That's strange, isn't it? Where did that all come from? Because it was the furthest removed from anything I could think of 22 years ago. Absolutely. But it found me. And there's another thing. I was listening to a Tim Ferriss podcast, and it was a really good one because it was a conversation. Although it was an interview, it was a conversation. And he was talking to this lady who's a writer. But she said, I think I'd always liked to write. I used to like writing when I was really small, but it was never the thing for me. But she said she went to college and then she went to law school and then she became a lawyer and did about 10 years of lawyership, if that's what you do. And then something happened to her. Something of a milestone. Something happened that really she just suddenly left that law school, that law career completely. And she said she didn't know what to do. She was riding a bike. Just riding a bike for a bit. And then she got a bit of a side gig going on where she would use the things that she enjoyed of the law, helping people to negotiate. But that paid her rent. But she said, I got this inclination to begin writing, to learn properly, to go to a creative writing class, to learn the skill of writing. And guess what? She is now a published author. And not only with one book, but more than one book. And it's her passion. So you hear stories, you see, and this is what got me. You hear stories of people who have had their dream and they are mega successful, absolutely mega successful. And you just follow your dream. We've talked about following your passion, following your dreams, and just giving it all up in an instant and just keep following and following and following. But a lot of us don't know what that dream is, but you don't hear all the stuff that went on their backstory though. Sometimes it was up and down, and that's a life that we couldn't necessarily do. Or it's where their responsibilities were only to themselves, so therefore they could do that. But you don't hear all that, you just hear the glory. And some of it is BS as well. You know, the old fake news, look at me. Get the old fake photographs in front of a hired Lamborghini or something like that. But anyway, forget that. What I'm trying to say is, or maybe you can get it now, you know, even if you don't know your passion, because that really hurts some people, because they know, I hear everyone following their passion, knowing their dreams, and I don't know. Well, I think this is just a little explanation of what you want wants you. And sometimes it takes a little time. We just have to keep dreaming. Just dream the dreams that you can dream now. Find the things that you are passionate about. They don't have to be your career. Just find the things that make you joyful, that create joy in your life. Because it's like sowing seeds. And you're watering those seeds, you're cultivating those seeds, you're nurturing those seeds. So when they grow, when the opportunities arise, you will be able to seize the dream. You'll be able to acknowledge, this is my passion, this is what I'm going to do, because you've learnt your trade, as it were. You've learnt your trade of your passion. And the thing is, you know, this thing about what you want wants you. Is it true? Some people call it, I looked on the Google and it was like, it's a law. But I didn't see where that law came from. But the thing is, it happens too often, I think, not to be true. What you want wants you. But the thing is, what you have to do, I think, and I'd never like telling people you have to do this, but I think you have to. You have to work. You have to put the effort in. Because there is no return on your investment. If you put nothing in, you get nothing out. It's nothing to multiply nothing with. If you put 1 in, yeah, you can get 5 times 1. If you put 10 in, you can get 10 times 10. But if you put nothing in, it doesn't matter what you multiply nothing with, you still end up with nothing. So we need to put in time. We need to invest ourselves. Now, sometimes to do that, you need to clean yourself from negative emotions, limiting beliefs, which is what we're here for, what I'm here for, to help you with Personal Development Unplugged. You know, to break down the complicated into simple, easy to do things that get you a return on your investment. Doesn't mean you don't have to put the effort in, but you do it wisely and you don't get overwhelmed. And you get the encouragement, you know, to follow your dreams here. Because I'll encourage you every bit of the way. Sometimes it takes longer than you want, but sometimes it's quicker than you could dream of. And that's the difference. And it's sometimes, and I think more often, better than you could dream of when you happen to evolve. Not revolution, but evolution. Because, you know, some people think it's a failure. I haven't found my passion yet. You know, I'm following dreams and it's not really working. Well, they're not failures. That's not a failure. This is part of this evolution. This is part of the learning. Sometimes we have to learn what we don't want, what we thought was our passion, our thought was our dream, to find out, well, actually, it's not what we really want. Because just imagine following that for 20 years and then finding out that it's not what you want. That would be absolutely tom tit. That's Riley slang, by the way. You have to work that one out. So that's not a failure. There are no failures. They're just feedbacks. Yeah, it's an easy thing to say, and it's an NLP presupposition, but it's true. They're just results what you're getting for your effort. Then we just need to reapply our effort in a different way. Be open. Be open to your passion coming through, and being open to your dreams, to find the right one, the right fit for you as you evolve and you're in the right place at the right time to accept that opportunity. Which means, again, like as I said, getting rid of negative and limiting beliefs, noticing the emotions that aren't supporting you. What haven't you learned from them? Because when you learn from them, they disappear. There's loads of things here, loads of things in the back episodes. There's loads of things in those hypnosis tracks, and there'll continue to be loads of things which are going to help you to do that right now, because you can. Because I want to encourage you. So, sometimes we are fearful of taking that step. Well, this is where the support comes in. And by evolution, that fear can just dissipate, because we've learned from it. The fear had a positive intention to warn you against something, to prepare. We just have to make sure that it's not overwhelming, and you don't get that wonderful excuse of, I self-sabotage myself, because to me, that's not a thing. We just haven't learned, and we're using that as an excuse. And I hear that from people, so many different people, and it is an excuse. To me, it's an excuse. I might be wrong. To me, it's an excuse. And, there's also, sometimes we worry about the people we're with. What will they think of us? Or will they start to say, well, why should you get it and not us? What makes you better than us? The old tall poppy syndrome, cutting your back down. Well, they can either come along with you, if they're ready, and if they're not, well, they'll evolve at the right time, at the right pace, when they're ready. So you can now, they're not your enemies. They're just people who aren't quite evolved yet. And you will find new supporting people as you evolve into what wants you. Oh, no, sorry, we're starting. What you wants you. And as you evolve into beginning to understand and fleshing out and specifying that specificity of what you want, of giving yourself time maybe just to think a little deeper. That's where, this all started from. I mean, this was a 5-minute quickie, and now we're over 20 minutes. And you see, some people tend to think, what's going to happen if I do this? Well, dream it out. We've got so many things here. We can dream it out, see exactly what you want, how it will play out. We can do it with perceptual positions, going into other people to understand, seeing life through their eyes back at us, how we change, who we are. Maybe going to that third position, that meta position, as if looking down, unattached, dissociated, to find the learnings we need to be able to move on. It's all here, and I'll continue to be talking about each one of those, because even if I've mentioned it before, which I know I have, we all need to be reminded of them, because, I'm just like you. I need to be reminded of this stuff on a daily basis. And that's why I look at my books in the library to go, oh, Paul, you knew that. And that's where this maybe taking a little time to think. And also taking time to not think, maybe a bit of meditation or stretching, yoga, that type of thing. To find your passion. Let your passion just happen. And taking opportunities as they come. The 5 keys to success, they're all here. Did you work it out last time? Know your goal was the one I missed off. And it was so obvious. Know your goal. Take inspired, intuitive action. And then be aware of where you are, your progress. And then if you're off track or you need to do something different, then have the flexibility to be able to change, to maybe do something slightly different because you're aware of your results you're getting. And then act from a psychology and physiology of excellence. The act as if. Not fake it till you make it, but just how would you act? How would you think? How would you behave? What emotions would you have if you'd already got that dream? If you were following that passion? And all that's doing is drawing on the resources you've got inside. But because it's act as if, there's no mega investment and you're allowed to be free. And what happens is it just fires off all those synaptic gaps and you begin to learn new ways, and your unconscious mind says, wow, if that's what you want, let's find more. And then what happens is, I guess, what you want wants you. But that's inside, isn't it? And that's what this PDU, Personal Development Unplugged podcast is about. I want to inspire you to find what's inside you that's busting to get out, but you're not aware of it yet. And if you are aware of it, how to develop it, to evolve it, to grow it, to magnify it, to do anything with that passion, that dream, and to create a life that you couldn't have dreamt of, or that surpasses your dreams, everything in the positive. So you're doing more than you could ever imagine. Because knowing that whatever you think you are, you're more than that. There you go. That's a 5-minute quickie turned into one of the longer podcasts. I hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed just knowing that even just thinking about thinking a little deeper, my unconscious mind gave me all of this, from a 5-minute quickie to a half-hour podcast. And I had to think about it. Where did those thoughts come from? Me. How did I put it together? Don't know, but I did. Hope you enjoyed how I put it together. I'd love your feedback. You know how to get in touch. Feedback at personaldevelopmentunplugged.com. Love your feedback of what you got from this. Did you get anything from it? Was it a load of BS? To me, it isn't. But I'd love to know your reactions, what you got out of this. What are you going to take from this? Did it change the way you thought? Did it reinforce the way you're thinking? Did it loosen the model of your world? What did it do? I'd love to know. And if there's anything you'd like to discuss, or you'd like me to delve deeper into, your dreams, your passions, the things that are stopping you, things that are stopping you getting your dreams, your passions, there's so many different contexts in your life that we can continue working on. Even when we've talked about the buckets, the wheels and the pillars, we've always got to keep replenishing them, because every time we grow a little bit, our goal gets bigger. And the bigger our goal gets, the more we need. But the thing is, the more we need, the more we get, because what you want wants you. There you go. So that's me, old Cluffy, signing off now for another few days. I really hope you enjoy this. And if you just listen to the bit at the end, just about listening, sharing, getting that subscribe, that's the word I was looking for. If you just have a listen to that, I'd really appreciate it. But until next time, see ya. Speak with you real soon. Ta-da. Thanks for listening, guys. That was really good. I really appreciate you being here. And I'd like to ask you a couple of questions, a couple of favors, really, in as much as I'd like you to share this podcast. Share it in a few ways. One is I'd like you to just share it with your friends. Share it with people that you know, anybody you think it may help, because that would be awesome. Spreading the word, spreading the community of this Personal Development Unplugged. Also, I'd like you to share your thoughts with me. Share your thoughts, your feedback, the things you enjoyed, the things you'd like me to do differently, the things you'd like me to explore even deeper, maybe more things like depression, loneliness, or happiness, or good stuff. They're all good. But if there's things you'd like to give me feedback on, that would be awesome. Just email me at feedback@personaldevelopmentunplugged.com. personaldevelopmentunplugged.com. Anything and everything would be awesome. And if I use it, obviously, total anonymosity. Anonymosity? You'll be anonymous. Also, if you could just go to the platform that you listen to this podcast on and give a review if you would. On iTunes, there's a capability of giving a 5-star review. That would be awesome. And just subscribe on any of those platforms so you get them on a Wednesday, get them on a Saturday, and you don't have to look for them. Get other people to subscribe. That would be great because that helps push this around to other people too. And as you know, as always, I have a different set of programs on a website called paulcloughonline.com. Got lots of different stuff that, I know you have to pay for, but that's just a different thing. They're more involved, they're more detailed, and they're more structured. Just have a look at the website and the programs on offer. I think you'll find they're of interest. You've even got one which has its own 5-day free start, as it were. And sometimes you even just let go of your anxiety listening to those 5 days. Have a listen to that. And lastly, and not leastly, those hypnosis tracks. Just go along to that paulcloughonline.com/podcast and you'll have access to all the hypnosis tracks that have been produced for this podcast. They're all there. They're all in order. They're all numbered and they're downloadable. You don't have to search through 300 odd podcasts to find the hypnosis track you want. They're all there. And you might find something even that you didn't think of. And it's just right for you now. So do that. Have more funding stand. And I'm going to be speaking to you real soon. But thank you for your time.
Warning, you are now leaving the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. It's time to fly on your own. Be brave, my friend.
Personal Development Unplugged.